Now let's check the latest COVID-19 numbers. 266 people have lost their lives in the greater Houston area. There are more than 11,000 cases. That's about a third of the cases in the entire state. Some good news, 3,900 people have recovered. Texas recorded more than 2,000 new cases over the weekend. That is the biggest gain over 2 consecutive days since the start of this pandemic. But right now, those numbers may have more to do with increased testing than ending the stay-at-home order. Here's Jason Miles.
As thousands flooded reopened beaches this past weekend,
we're happy to have something to do,
or dined in limited capacity restaurants like this, some 2,000 more Texans got a positive COVID-19 diagnosis, a 2 consecutive day record. Saturday alone was the second biggest single day gain since the pandemic began, with 1,293 new cases, according to state health officials.
So many communities are now getting testing efforts up.
Dr. Sherry Onyego is a division director with Harris County Public Health.
So as you test more, the likelihood of getting additional cases will inevitably come as well.
Governor Greg Abbott announced today that more than half of the testing in Texas during the entire COVID-19 crisis has occurred over just the last 2 weeks. Right now, Onyego believes more widespread testing sent the number of new cases up, something many suggest increased mingling at places like this park will eventually do as well.
There are some gatherings where people may be congregated together, some gatherings where individuals aren't wearing face masks, and we certainly want to ensure that we can't let up off of the gas, that we still have work ahead of us.
7 additional COVID-19 related deaths were reported yesterday in Houston and Harris County, along with more than 120 new cases. It's encouraging that nearly 1,800 patients have recovered in the county, but Onyego believes many of us remain at risk.
We all have our part to play in this by doing the things that we need to do to keep these numbers low.
Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.